Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. Today I wanted to go over Quant and HBAR with you guys, compare the two and see if you have both of them in your portfolio or not, and which one I think could outperform the other in the next bull run, and see what we could get for about $1,000 for each of them. So let's jump into it. Alright, right now Quant is right around $100, so if we were to throw $1,000 into this investment, you would get about 10 Quant. I know it sounds like only 10 Quant, but imagine like if you had 10 Bitcoin, then it doesn't sound so bad, does it? So if we look at Quant, it's at a 1.455 million market cap, and look at HBAR quick here. This one's at 1.427 market cap, so they're right around each other. Quant's number 34, HBAR's number 35 currently in the market as far as market cap, so they're really close to each other, and they're both kind of like ISO 222 tokens. They're both in the financial system, and I think they're both going to do really well. So these are two that I wanted to compare because I know a lot of people are either holding both or holding one or the other and maybe want to get one or the other. So full disclosure, I currently own Quant. I don't own any HBAR, but I'm probably going to be accumulating some soon, and I'm just trying to fill up on some more Quant, and almost done with my Solana. I try to get like a goal of how many I want of each one, and then I'll kind of focus on those, and then once I'm done getting the amount of those that I want, I'll jump into something else, because I just see certain deals, and some of them, the deals are really good and you just got to jump on them. But Quant, I think at $100 is a good deal. Now, could this one get lower? Sure, it could. We've seen some correction in the market recently. Quant was around like the $120 to $150 mark for quite a bit of this last year, and it came down to like $97 or so recently. And I think last year it did get down at one point when they had that crash in June of last year, somewhere around there, that it did dip down to like the $40 to $50 mark, which is an absolute steal for Quant. And I know some people are lucky enough to pick it up at that price. HBAR, if we look at that one, it's at 4.5 cents right now. It's a good buy for this one. I think that it could possibly come down to the 4-cent range, but either way, the difference between 4.5 cents and 4 cents is not a big deal. It's been, if we look at the last year, it got down to like 3.65 cents at one point, was the lowest it's gotten, and that was back in December. So the price that it's at now is a really good buy. Now, I don't think anyone could go wrong if they picked it up around, I know some people picked it up around the 6 cents and 10 cent mark. I think you're going to still do really well in the next bull run on this one if you did pick it up at that price. If you did pick it up at a higher price, if you can accumulate more to get your dollar cost average down, I think that would be a good thing. I know my Quant average is around maybe $108 or $110 or something. So it's not too bad, but I've been just slowly accumulating more and more, and when it dumped down to like 97, I think I picked like 10 of them up right around $100 or $98 or something recently. So if we compare these two, they're real similar in market cap. They're both kind of similar projects, so they could both do very similar in the next bull run. I know that the possibilities for Quant are good because it has that overledger technology. And if we look at Quant, they've got this collaboration they did with the BIS, the Bank of England, on Project Rosalind. This was a huge project working with CBDCs, and they used the Quant technology for this. And basically, if we look at this here, it says they've been testing APIs to facilitate retail payments in CBDCs and support the exploration of innovative CBDC use cases. Now, a lot of people are against CBDCs. I don't like them either, but I think there's no stopping central bank digital currencies from happening. They're already happening and already starting to launch them. I don't think it's something that we can stop. So I think it's really cool that Quant is getting into this, because it could help them interact and commingle with the digital currencies, like HBAR and like XRP and a bunch of the other ones. I mean, XLM, a lot of them, they could all really use this technology with Quant and kind of do interoperable payments with the CBDC banks if possible. Now, this is really bullish for Quant because they're already working with these banks, and it's something that they can all kind of look at and say, oh, this is actually working and it's been successful. It says, for the first time, money is ready for the digital age. A CBDC will enable citizens and businesses to automate cumbersome payments and processes and implement logic into money. For commercial banks and other institutions, the opportunity to apply its programmability to create innovative new products and differentiate themselves from challengers and competitors is almost endless. The new London Innovation Hub Center is established by a Switzerland headquartered BIS in 2021 is one of 6 international nodes working to develop public goods in the technology space to support central banks and improve the functioning of the financial system. So I think that this is going to open up a lot of doors for Quant, and maybe we'll see a bunch of other banks adopt their technology, which is going to be really good for it and could be really huge. So we'll have to keep an eye on Quant, and I think they're just getting started with the connections that Gilbert Verdian has. This could really go places. HBAR, on the other hand, they're also, I know people were worried about this token unlock on June 1st, but the price didn't really drop that much. If you look at it, still around 4.5 cents. If we go back to the last 30 days here, it was up to 5.2 cents. So that's what, maybe a 10% decline or so. 30 day, around 15%. That's not terrible. And I think the token unlocks I was looking at this article here. It said $65 million worth, $1.2 billion of HBAR tokens are scheduled to release on June 1st. Comes after 95 million HBARs were released on Saturday, which brought the total amount of released tokens to 62%. Now there's still, about almost 40% of the tokens that are not in circulation, so we're going to slowly see some more pressure on the price a little bit with the circulating supply. But reading this article of saying that the token unlocks going forward are going to be minor, and it's probably not going to impact the price very much. So it says, following this unlock, subsequent token releases events will not be nearly as significant and will only result in minor additions to the available token supply. So that's a good thing for HBAR. They've pretty much survived this round, in my opinion, and a lot of this correction really probably may have not had anything to do with the token supply. The whole market corrected. I mean, Quant was up to $120 before this, so that's like almost a 20% decline for Quant as well. So comparing the two, they both did about the same in the last month as far as price depreciation. So which one is a better investment? That's the $1 million question. Well, I personally think HBAR is going to get to at least $1 in the next bull run. If you took $1,000 into HBAR, right now you could get about 22,000, a little over 22,000 tokens for that $1,000. If it got down to 4 cents, then you could pick up 25,000 tokens. So with HBAR getting to at least $1 in the next bull run, you could figure on getting between $20,000 and $25,000 for your $1,000 investment. Now it's about a 20x. Quant, I could also see it getting up to $2,000 fairly easily in the next bull run. So a lot of people are saying $1,500 to $2,500. So that's between $15,000 and $25,000 for Quant. If it did get higher, let's say, so like a 20x from here, 1.45 billion, it's going to be about a $29 billion market cap at a 20x. That's very doable, and that would be the same for HBAR, really. 29, basically a $30 billion market cap. It's both very doable. HBAR has had, I mean, both of these have had their first bull run, but they didn't really pop off hard like some of the other ones did, and I think it's because they weren't as popular. If we can go look at, let's look at like Polygon, for instance, in the last bull run, see what it did. I just want to compare it to some of these other bigger caps that they're gonna, in my opinion, fall under recently. Polygon's market cap got up to 20 billion, so that would be about equivalent to what a little bit better than what Polygon did in the last bull run. If we go to Polkadot, that was another popular one. I'm not sure what Polkadot did for market cap, but we'll take a look at it here. This just kind of give us an idea of what these could possibly do. So Polkadot got up to 50 billion, 54 billion in the last bull run. So if we took Quant, if we took the Quant and 54 billion divided by 1.44 billion, it's a 37x. It'd be about a $3,700 Quant, and HBAR could do about the same. It's just kind of a horse apiece, but I would be really happy with a $3,700 Quant, really personally, if it got up to $3,500, and that's very doable. And I know like Solana got up to, I think it was 80 billion in the last bull run, and some of these HBAR and Quant, and I could easily see Quant possibly doing as well as Solana did because of how popular it is getting. Yeah, it got up to about 80 billion. So an $80 billion Quant would be like a 55x, so around a $5,500 Quant. So $5,000 Quant is possible. As far as HBAR, you know, basically the same thing, a 55x, you know, on a HBAR, if you put $1,000 in, you're gonna basically have like $55,000 if it did as well as Solana. Now, no offense to HBAR, I don't know if it would actually get that high. I can just see Quant kind of doing that because of its overledger technology, and with all these CBDCs and stuff using that technology, and it's beneficial for all of those systems to work together. So, but HBAR does have its own unique. It's not really a blockchain; it's a hash graph technology, and they've got some pretty big partners too. So, both of them could do really well, and I think you'd be doing yourself, you know, some harm if you, in your portfolio possibly, if you didn't, you know, possibly have both of them in your portfolio. I don't think you can lose either way. If we took 55 times the current price of HBAR, that'd be around a $2.40 HBAR. So that's realistic. I've heard a lot of people call for between a $1 and $2 HBAR, and I think that's fairly realistic. But just remember, guys, when you're doing these tokens, you're holding these tokens in the bull run, and they start coming up in price, and some of these bigger caps, you don't know if they're only going to hit 20 billion. You don't know if they're going to hit 50 billion or 80 billion or 100 billion. So right now, if you're buying them at like 1.5 billion market cap, if it gets up to 15 billion, it's time to start taking some serious profit. At least, you know, in my opinion, I'll be taking out at least 20%. That way I've doubled my original investment. So like if we took Quant here, and if I had 10 Quant for an example, and I sold, let's say it got up to 15 billion, which would be $1,000. You know, if I sold two of them at $1,000, that would be $2,000. So you're doubling your investment. Right now, for buying 10 Quant, it would be $1,000. So if you sold two Quant at $1,000 each, you're basically doubling your initial investment on that 10 Quant. So you could still have 8 Quant that you could ride with to see how they do. So you could wait until, you know, 1,200 and sell another Quant, 1,500, sell another couple Quant, you know, 1750, a couple more Quant, and 2000, sell a couple more Quant, or just, you know, or just wait till like either $250 or $500 increments to sell another Quant and just kind of see how it does. But just be careful that you're not overestimating your profits. I'm really mainly looking for about a 10x average or so out of my tokens, because some of them are going to not do very well and some of them are going to do really well. I may get a 20, 30, 50, 100x on some of them, and other ones I may get like a 4 or 5x, or it could go to 0. So when I start getting a 10x on a token, I'm going to really start taking out some serious profit and kind of balance out the portfolio, make sure that I'm gaining money. If I take out 20% at a 10x, I've doubled my investment, so I'm not at a risk of losing any money at that point. I've still made some good profit. So no matter what happens in the market, I'll be okay financially as far as that goes in my investment. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're doing this. But that's pretty much all I've got for this video, guys. Appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. And if there's any other tokens you'd like for me to compare, I'd love to hear from you guys on that. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you're holding Quant or HBAR or both, or if you're planning on holding one or the other or both of them. And I'd love to hear price predictions from you guys and what you think they're going to do in the next bull run and why you think they're going to do that well in the next bull run. I've also got the free Telegram group. If you want to jump in there and chat, that's great too if you would. And appreciate it if you like this video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. My channel is growing pretty quickly now, so hopefully I'll be up to 500 subscribers. Maybe by the time this video comes out, I'll be up there. Just kind of depends. I'm a little over 400 right now, but it's jumped up quite a bit in the last few days. So hopefully by the next month or so, I'll be up to 1,000 subscribers. But it's all up from you guys, and I appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate it. I'd like to do some kind of giveaway for you guys when I get to 1,000 subscribers, whether it's like a Trezor or a Ledger or something. I just got to figure out how I can do that with YouTube, because they're kind of picky on how you do giveaways on their channel, and I got to make sure that, you know, I clarify that they're not affiliated with them in any way. But I appreciate it, guys, and we will see you on the next video.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me